Supervive is here. Formerly known as Project Loki, Theorycraft Games' first title just officially entered closed alpha last month, and information about the game is finally becoming more publicly available. Whether you're still waiting on an invite to the playtest or just got in and want to know what character might complement your playstyle, there are plenty of unique and fun hunters to choose from. My name's Stevenator, and I've been playtesting Supervive since last November. I finished top 3 in multiple community show matches, and I even managed to grab a top 20 spot on the most recent test that included a ranked leaderboard. My eternal character crisis has driven me to experiment with nearly every hunter in the game by now, so I figured I'd give an overview of each of them to help anyone as indecisive as me. Here is everything you need to know about the roster of Supervive in under 5 minutes. We'll be going alphabetical, which means we're starting with Bishop, formerly known as Rocket Jump. Bishop can technically be played as a backwards kiting carry, described by some players as being about as easy to chase as Singe from League of Legends. But most Bishop players prefer to use her creative movement options to set up massive area of effect punches.
And there comes a giant fish!
No!
Next up, we've got Brall. Brall is a hyper-mobile melee bruiser who weaves in and out of combat, poking and prodding until he finally finds an opportunity to go in for the kill. His right mouse button ability does like 4 different things depending on when and where you use it. He's very complicated to learn, but Brall players will swear that once you do, there's no character who's as fun or rewarding as him. Celeste is Supervive's obligatory ice character. She's a mage who controls space exceptionally well, and her ultimate ability can shift any teamfight in your favor. Celeste deals tons of area of effect damage, and combos very effectively with multiple other characters, namely Void and Kingpin. Elluna is the first of the supportive characters on this list. As a backline healer with good mobility, she's able to scoop up down teammates and res them before sending them back in to die again. Playing against this character can be an absolute nightmare, and playing with this character gives you the leeway to play incredibly recklessly, knowing that you've got a medic in your corner. Felix is everyone's favorite, or least favorite depending on who you ask, Flaming Fox. This flamethrower-wielding agent of chaos is an honorary melee character, making for a great diver and flanker. After finding his way into the backline, he pulls entire teams towards him and applies a damage over time burn effect as well as an anti-heal that's sure to start any fight off right. Ghost is deceptively fun. I lovingly refer to him as left-click the character, but he also has some pretty cool geometry stuff with his grenade, which can be thrown at walls to create an explosive cone. He's fairly straightforward, but can pump out more damage than nearly any other character if he's played properly. Joule is the dash revolution reset heavy character. She looks for picks and stacks up electricity on enemies from range before dashing through them for massive damage. By collecting orbs that drop from her abilities and triggering maximum stacks with a dash, it resets. Set up massive combos and go wild. Much like Celeste is the obligatory ice character, Kingpin is Supervive's resident hook guy, but with a little bit of assassin DNA as well. He can hook both allies and enemies over walls, including ones that are already downed, allowing for 6 saves and creative executes. If you get too close to him, he will borderline one-shot you with his shotgun though, no questions asked. Myth, like Ghost, gets most of her damage from left clicks, but she can also walk through walls and control space pretty effectively. She's extremely self-sufficient, does pretty much everything at a decent level, and basically plays like the bow from Hades. Just give her a try and you'll see what I mean. As the Reinhardt-esque shield guy, Oath looks on the surface like a pretty stereotypical tank. However, while he is good at creating space for his team and resurrecting down allies, he definitely packs a punch of his own with a throwable boomerang hammer and the ability to stun you against walls. Shiv is Supervive's Yasuo, Genji, Jet, or any other low-utility feast or famine type character. If you hit your shots, you can outplay any other character and wipe entire enemy teams by yourself, looking like a god in the process. Miss your shots though, and you'll look absolutely useless and probably get reported. Shrike is a long-range sniper who two-shots most characters in the game. But, like most other snipers, she suffers when she gets dove onto. She's deadly in the right hands and seems to be the absolute bane of new players, which means she also makes for a very beginner-friendly choice. As the black sheep of Supervive's roster, Void's mobility is much more limited and unforgiving than everyone else's. His kit centers around his ability to swap basically anything you can think of, including enemies, allies, monsters, and items, with his current position. This one ability lets you flex your massive brain, but also functions as your only escape. His ultimate also sets up massive wombo combos as well, if you're into that. Last, but certainly not least, Zeph is a traditional backline healer with the capability to augment his allies' mobility with his tornado and set up deadly combos with his AoE grenade and ultimate. His healing output is more consistent and potent than other healers, at the expense of making him a very mana-hungry little lad. And that's it. As of this video, in June of 2024, that's the full roster of Supervive. Technically, there are other characters, like Stalker and Gunner, who have been in the past playtests, but I chose not to include them because they haven't been available to play for the last few, but maybe they'll come back soon. I'm sure some of these descriptions will have changed even a month or two down the line, but I hope this serves as a useful starting point, as well as a time capsule of what the game looked like shortly after entering Alpha and lifting the non-disclosure agreement. If you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I've got more Supervive stuff in the pipeline, and it'd be awesome to know whether I'm on the right track or not. With that, this has been Stevenator, and I'll see you later.